Lonnie Walker exposes what no one dares to say about the NBA. Imagine watching your dream crumble right before your eyes. That's exactly what happened to Lonnie Walker IV, a former guard for the Boston Celtics, who has now found refuge in the EuroLeague. But his transition wasn't quiet. Walker made bombshell statements that are reverberating through the world of basketball. Has he hit a nerve in the NBA's deep-seated issues? Upon signing with Žalgiris Kaunas in October 2024, Walker didn't hold back. "This is real basketball." These words, spoken firmly during the Triple Threat Show podcast, are a slap in the face to anyone who still believes the NBA is the most authentic and competitive league in the world. Everyone here is smart. Nobody plays the wrong way. It's not like the NBA, where one or two players monopolize the shots. This is real basketball. Walker's statements not only criticize the growing individualism in the NBA but also highlight something many are afraid to admit: the decline of authenticity in the American basketball style. Even Shaquille O'Neal, a basketball legend, has voiced dissatisfaction with the NBA's current state, stating that all teams seem to play the same way. Walker reinforces this view with first-hand experience, and coming from someone who recently played for the Celtics, it's clear this frustration is not just theoretical but deeply personal. A new path or a second chance? Walker, who went through the preseason with the Celtics in 2024, saw his efforts go unrewarded. "I tried to control what I could. I'd arrive at practice before everyone, stick to my routine. But it didn't work out," he recalled with a tone of resignation. Without a guaranteed contract in the NBA, he was waived but found a new stage to showcase his talent in the EuroLeague. And what a performance! Averaging 16.2 points per game, shooting 48% from the field, and displaying remarkable consistency in just 22.6 minutes per game, Walker proves he still has a lot to offer. Even so, one question lingers. Will he get another shot at the NBA? Or will his new journey in Europe mark the true rebirth of his career? With Walker's scathing critique of the NBA, does the American League urgently need to reinvent itself? Or will we see more talented players trading the NBA's spotlight for the authenticity of European basketball? A warning no Celtics fan can ignore. Did you know that the start of a season can determine a team's destiny? Imagine being so close to glory, yet feeling that something essential is slipping through your fingers. This is the scenario the Celtics are facing, on a journey marked by high expectations but with nuances that leave even the most confident fans uneasy. A familiar start. But what about the finish? 24 games. The same 19-5 record. One of the league's best offenses and a defense that remains in the top 10. Sound familiar? That's exactly how the team started last season, which ended with them hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy. But does repeating the start guarantee repeating the finish? Head coach Joe Mazzulla leads a group that's largely unchanged from last season, which should, in theory, provide consistency. Yet some critical differences have emerged. For instance, the Celtics' offense has leveled up, now ranking third in the league in points per game and offensive efficiency. The even heavier reliance on Mazzulla ball, a strategy focused on three-point shooting, has turned the team into a historic threat, with numbers that could shatter NBA records. But could this heavy reliance on threes become a long-term risk? And the defense? The unexpected weakness. While their defensive numbers are still in the league's top 10, rim protection has taken a hit, especially with Kristaps Porzingis recovering from a leg surgery. Opponents' field goal percentage in the paint has risen, and blocks per game have dropped significantly. Porzingis is back, but his initial absence raised concerns. Is the Celtics' physicality ready for the grind of a long season and, more importantly, the playoffs? Injuries and a persistent question. Health. That single word defines the Celtics' biggest challenge so far. With a combined 39 games missed by key players, the team has yet to field its full roster in a single game. And yet, they are winning nearly 80% of their games, thanks to their bench depth and the development of key pieces like Peyton Pritchard. But this reality raises a troubling question. What happens if these absences continue? The Celtics have the talent, depth, and numbers to make history, but a shadow looms on the horizon. Can a team so dependent on its chemistry and strategy afford to take such risks? What if injuries pile up at the worst possible time? Are we witnessing the start of a new golden era, or the prelude to an unimaginable disappointment? An alert Celtics fans can't ignore. What if, at the most critical moment of the season, the main roster isn't complete? Or worse, what if the solution to a hidden problem is right under everyone's noses, but no one notices? The story of Drew Peterson, a silent gamble by the Celtics, might be the unexpected answer, or a warning sign that the strategy needs an urgent overhaul. A talent emerging in the midst of chaos. With Jaylen Brown and Derek White sidelined due to injury, head coach Joe Mazzulla had no choice but to explore his bench. That's when Drew Peterson, a 25-year-old on a two-way contract, got his chance. Undrafted out of USC in 2023, Peterson initially flew under the radar, but is now proving he could be much more than a temporary fix. Peterson shone in 2 consecutive games, 25 minutes against the Cleveland Cavaliers and 26 minutes against the Miami Heat. Against the Cavaliers, he posted 8 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. In the following matchup, he added 7 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Small steps, but on a team struggling to balance the absence of key players, these performances have stood out. In his G League outings, Peterson has shown consistency, averaging 17.8 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. He's a natural spacer with a reliable three-point shot. Could he be the answer to the technical gaps that arise when stars are sidelined? After the game against the Cavaliers, Kristaps Porzingis remarked, "I told him to go for it. He's a good offensive player, wasn't afraid, and showed his quality." It was amazing to see him perform in a high-level game like this. Porzingis knows what it's like to be a key piece under pressure. His own return from surgery has been marked by steady performances. But with just 5 games into the season and still not fully recovered, he understands the importance of having players ready to step up when needed. Can Peterson maintain this momentum and prove he's more than a temporary solution? More importantly, can the Celtics trust him to be the player who balances the team when the championship is on the line? With each passing game, the pressure builds, and answers are needed fast. Do you believe Drew Peterson is the key to the Celtics' next chapter, or just a fleeting promise in a moment of need? Boston Celtics' $118 million decision that could reshape their future. What happens when a championship-winning team considers dismantling its core? The Boston Celtics, fresh off their record-breaking 18th NBA championship, are facing a dilemma that could change everything. With the looming specter of salary cap restrictions ready to strangle their flexibility, whispers of a potential blockbuster trade have fans holding their breath. Could the Celtics really trade a cornerstone player in the middle of their title defense? A shock proposal from Golden State. Enter the Golden State Warriors, a team desperate to reclaim their throne. Colin Keane of the Sporting News suggests a trade that seems almost unthinkable. Derek White, Boston's two-way maestro, could be shipped to the Bay Area in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Kevin Looney. The financial logic is clear. Boston would shed salary and secure young, promising talent to extend their championship window. But at what cost? Keane paints an enticing picture. By moving White, Boston would save millions in future salary commitments. Kuminga, at just 22 years old, has untapped potential as a dynamic forward. Looney offers championship experience, and Podziemski comes with one of the league's most team-friendly contracts. Together, they promise a blend of youth, skill, and cap relief. Yet, the immediate hit to the Celtics' on-court performance cannot be ignored. White, a 2-time All-Defensive Team player, has been pivotal to Boston's dominance. Averaging 17.3 points on stellar shooting splits, alongside nearly 5 rebounds and assists per game, his absence would leave a gaping hole. Would Boston still be favorites? Even with this trade, Boston could remain a top contender. The Celtics' depth and the rising stars in this hypothetical package might cushion the blow. But the risks are monumental. Kuminga and Podziemski are young and inconsistent. The chemistry that propelled the Celtics to glory could crumble under the weight of these changes. As fans debate the pros and cons, one chilling question remains. Would trading Derek White be the spark that secures Boston's future dominance, or the decision that ends their championship reign? Hey Celtics fanatics! What do you think of this news? Leave your opinion in the comments, as it's highly valued.